Ladies and gentlemen, guys and girls, my name is Raven and welcome back to my channel. And today I bring you another For Honor Possible Heroes video. Now, which hero am I going to be talking about this time? Today, we're going to be talking about the Peasant. Now, I don't know about all of you, but I would love to see a peasant in this game. We're talking about medieval times, and of course, everyone had peasants. They were sort of just like, you know, the little shit kickers running around going, "Yes, me lord," and doing shit like that. Doing some farming stuff, you know, being treated like shit by all the royalty on the knights and everything. Whenever someone needed a good footstool, the peasant was there. And I think the peasant would fit perfectly into For Honor, and we're going to get into that later on. But first of all, let's talk about the design of the peasant and what he's going to look like. Now, when it comes to the peasant, there are so many options of just style of peasant you could go for. You can go for the grubby hobo peasant. You know, that little guy who's just sitting around begging for money, trying to like live. You can go for that guy if you want. Just give him a whole bunch of shitty, tattered clothes, real dirty him up, dirty face, all that, because he doesn't have access to any showers or anything. You can have the real grubby hobo type peasant. But then on the flip side, you could go for the pig farming peasant. Now, of course, he's going to be dirty. He's going to be grubby because he works with pigs all day. But you can change up how he looks just a slight bit. Give him, you know, make his clothes a little less tattered because at least he, you know, isn't living on the streets. So he's a little bit more well off because, of course, he farms pigs and he owns pigs and people like bacon. But in the end, he's still a peasant, so he's going to be grubby. And then on the flip side, we have the standard, the farmer peasant, okay? He's got himself his little shovel, he has his overalls, he's got his boots on, sturdy clothes for a peasant, I'll give him that. He has a hat, outside in the sun all day, and of course, he's still going to be dirty because he's a man that works with his hands. So when it comes to the looks of the peasant, there are many options, many different types of peasant. You have the grubby hobo, you have the pig farmer, you have yourself the normal farmer, you know, who's a little bit more respected in the peasant community. There are a ton of customization options when it comes to the peasant. And now let's talk about what weapon I want the peasant to have, and we can't go past the good old-fashioned pitchfork. Nothing beats just working on your farm, moving some hay from one pile to the other, and then all of a sudden, war breaks out. There's knights everywhere, there's, you know, fucking samurai, Vikings are here for some odd reason, and what are we gonna do? We're gonna run outside, and we're gonna stab some people in the gut with our trusty old pitchfork. And we're gonna stab them in the gut, and we're gonna move them to a pile over there, like we do with the hay. Because pitchforks are awesome, and of course, what happens if you're a peasant? You're sitting there, you're digging a fucking hole, you got yourself a shovel, sturdy weapon a shovel is, and you're digging that hole, and then all of a sudden, you know what, a whole bunch of samurai rock up, you've already got a bunch of holes dug, may as well kill them with a shovel and put them in the ground. Because when you're a peasant, you're fucking practical. You're not gonna let a good hole go to waste, are ya? Especially a hole you've dug yourself with your trusty old shovel. And you can make some fancy pitchforks, you can make some fancy shovels, put some engraving on there. Maybe he found it in the river. Maybe he killed a noble and took it off him. You don't know. How did the peasant get the good pitchfork or shovel? It doesn't matter because we don't worry about realism anymore. But I do think a pitchfork or a shovel would be a freaking awesome weapon, and it goes great with the grubby aesthetic of the peasant. So now let's actually talk about the peasant and what he's going to play like. He's a very unique character, the peasant, so what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to come up with something special for him, okay? He's going to have a few passives built into him. And the first passive built into the peasant is going to be stealth. So you know when the peacekeeper and stuff get stealth, you can't really see where they are on the map, they don't show up, and it's hard to tell where they're running. The peacekeeper runs up behind you, starts stabbing you in the back because you didn't see him coming. The peasant's gonna have that. Now the question you might be asking me is, why does the peasant start with stealth? Wouldn't that be a little bit overpowered? But it works 100% from a thematic standpoint, because no one cares about a fucking peasant. He's basically invisible. Especially if you're this knight, you're walking around in this awesome armor, you're an executioner, you're whatever, lawbringer, and you're like, you know what, I'm good, I'm solid, boom, pitchfork in the back, because you didn't give a shit about the guy shining your shoes. I think it's only fitting that the peasant starts with stealth. Now the next passive is pretty strong, and it's one that I think fits perfectly with the peasant. And this passive is called Beg for Your Life. Now the way this works is when the peasant is reduced to 1 bar of health, okay, when he's dropped down to a single bar of health, the peasant will automatically drop to his knees, he'll start crying, and he'll start begging for his life. Please me lord, don't kill me. Now the side effect of him being on the ground on his knees begging and crying is every enemy within a radius around him and ally will be stunned, as they turn away in disgust at such cowardice on the battlefield. The peasant will then gain a massive speed boost, like if you're picking up one of the speed boosts in elimination or tribute, and this is so he can run away and survive another day because he's a bitch. And this thing will have an internal cooldown. I'm thinking maybe, you know, a couple of minutes, 2 minutes, that sounds fair. Now the peasant is not going to have any unblockables because he's too weak for unblockables, but he is going to have a fair few bleeds because let's be honest, getting stabbed in the back of the knee with a shovel is going to make you bleed a little bit, especially if he's using a pitchfork and he's just like, you know, stabs you in the spine, it's gonna hurt, you're gonna bleed. And let's be completely honest here, it's always gonna be in the back of the knee or the spine, because no peasant's gonna be fighting anyone that we have in the roster right now face to face. And with that built-in stealth, you know for a fact you're gonna be able to sneak up on people, because no one ever sees the peasant coming. And lastly, the peasant is gonna have a unique mechanic that he brings to the entirety of the game. And this only works for the peasant. And that thing is armament crates. So how does this work? Essentially, at the start of the game, whenever there's a peasant in it, there will be 5 armament crates placed around the map, which the peasant can run around and collect these armament crates. Now, once the peasant has managed to gather all 5 armament crates, he'll be upgraded to a pikeman peasant. He'll now be wearing awesome chainmail armor, not the fanciest stuff in the world, because he's still a goddamn peasant, but he'll have chainmail armor, and instead of a pitchfork or a shovel, he'll now have a pike. But do not be fooled, my friends, he's still a peasant, so he still keeps all of his passives and everything. He doesn't really know what he's doing right now, he's just trying to defend his land. But he will do a little bit more damage because he has a pike, and he will have a little bit more health because he has chainmail armor now instead of his grubby clothes. Overall, I think the peasant would be an amazing addition to this game. He fits the theme of it, peasants are all over the place, and like I said, everyone needs a peasant. You need someone to dig your holes, you need a farmer, you need a pig farmer, you need a chicken kicker, you need someone who deals with the shit of the world, and that's a peasant, so why not allow them to fight too? This is their home as well. And plus, I know we all really want to play a peasant. Just the aesthetic is awesome, being a grubby little hobo man running around with a pitchfork stabbing people, what more could we all want? Especially in a realistic fighting game like For Honor. Now, before I end the video, I just want to say, I know for a fact that some people probably thought I was being serious with this video, but no, this video was more just for fun. But yeah, I cannot wait to read the comments down below from the people who only watched like half the video and just, their heads just have exploded and they just want to know what the fuck's going on, and they're probably yelling at me down below. It should be quite a good read, but that is the end of the video, guys. I really do hope you enjoyed it. I just want to do a fun one of these where I just come up with something that we're never going to see, something that's not even feasible, and just come up with some crazy things for him. And I think it turned out pretty well. And I do really hope you all enjoyed it. So thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, leave a comment down below, and let me know your thoughts. What do you think about the peasant in For Honor with his pitchforks and his grubby clothes and his yes me lords? I would really love to hear from you guys down below in the comment section. And don't forget to check out my Discord. There's a link down below in the description box. And if you like this video and you like what I'm doing here on the channel and you want to support the channel further, feel free to check out my Patreon. A link will pop up at the end of the video. There's a link down below in the description box, and if you choose to donate, it is greatly appreciated. And please share this video around, it does help me out a fuck ton. And if you want to see more videos from me, please hit the subscribe button. I shall see you all in the next video. Have a good one, guys.